Hey everyone, King Pyro 44 here, and we are now deep into Season 3, so I want to go over my top 5 tips for climbing in Season 3 of competitive Overwatch. Before we start, I want to say that these are tips that I find useful as I climb, so you may or may not agree with me. That's okay. Let's just get started. So tip number 5, learning when to use your ultimates. This tip is just an overall good thing to learn, as certain ultimates like Zarya's Graviton Surge or Ana's Nano Boost can be real big game changers. They can also cost your team the game if not used correctly. Along with this comes the use of ultimate combos that when done correctly can be devastating for the enemy and be vital to your win. Some of the combos I'm talking about is Zarya and D.Va, or Zarya and Tracer, or Ana and Soldier. These combos are sometimes unstoppable if used at the right time. So the general idea is to look for a spot where most of the enemy team can be CC'd, and while they are, use a really offensive ultimate like D.Va, Reaper, Hanzo, Tracer. Any of those would work. And that brings me to tip number 4. So tip number 4 is teamwork. Teamwork is how you win in this game. I'm not saying it is impossible to solo carry, but it is a lot easier to win in Overwatch if everyone is working as a team. In fact, most of these tips are going to be about teamwork since the game revolves around it so much. So let me narrow this tip down a little bit because there's a lot of things that factor into good teamwork, but one of those factors is being a good teammate. I know this sounds terribly hard for some of you, but seriously, being rude to people, trolling, staying your pick even if you're getting stomped and your team is asking you to switch, these are all ways to make it very easy for your opponent to win, and that's not good. Getting on the mic and telling someone they suck will not help you win, it just won't. If someone is doing bad, ask politely if they could switch heroes or try helping them by giving them actual useful advice. Trust me, it will help everyone on your team and the overall morale of your team as well. Tip number 3. I know I've said this a lot in my previous videos, but you need to get in team chat. I don't care if you don't have a mic or if you don't want to talk to people or if you're in a group chat with other players from before. Unless you're in a team of 6, you need to be in team chat so that your whole team can hear the calls and directions. I can honestly say that 60% of the games that I lose is because no one is communicating. We could have been the better team, but the other team was just more organized, and an organized team is a very dangerous thing in a game like Overwatch. So please get in team chat. It's going to help you win so many more games, even if you don't talk, just by listening to what your team is trying to do. Tip number 2 is to pick a role to main. Find out what you're really good at and play it. Find out what you lose a lot with and stop playing that hero. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone who, for example, plays a ton of Roadhog and has a good win percentage like 60%, but instead of picking Roadhog, they decide that they should play Soldier, which they have a 20% win rate, and it hurts the team a lot when you do that. Or vice versa, where you play a hero a lot and have a bad win percentage with them, but you decide to play that hero anyways. Should you learn every hero in Overwatch? Yes, I think you should learn what every hero can do. That way you're prepared for a situation where you need to play a hero if your team needs it, or if you're going up against these heroes. Should you try and master every hero? No way, it's just not possible. I, for the life of me, cannot play Reaper, for example, and I don't, because it would be such a detriment to my team. So please, find out what you're good at, play that hero. If you can't play that hero, find something near it. All supports should know how to play most of the supports. If you're really good at DPS, you should know how to play most of the DPS heroes. If you're good at tanking, you should know 1 to 3 tanks that you can switch between in case your team needs it. And finally, tip number 1 is to relax. A loss doesn't mean the end of the world. Even the best players lose sometimes. Don't blame it on your team. See what you could have done better to get the win and get back in there. If you lose a couple of games in a row, take a break, go outside, run around, take a nap, do whatever you need to do to get refreshing, and then when you're ready to take on the challenge again, come back and play. If you are good enough, you will climb, I guarantee it. Thanks so much for watching the video. Please let me know your tips for climbing in the comments below. Make sure to like the video because it helps me out a lot, and subscribe for more content. I'm King Pyro 44 and I'm out of here. Peace.